My name is Fulvio Cesario, nicknamed Red for the color of my hair, and I am the owner of Phenomenology of Language Facebook page with more than 271k followers, Phenomenology della Lingua Instagram page with almost 340k followers, Phenomenology TikTok page with 80k followers. An undoubtedly high number for a page that argues in the Italian language from a phenomenological point of view. An idea born in my many trips on the road where the neuronal sparks have been able to materialize such shapeless existential dictates. In particular, during a journey between Rome and Milan crossing the Apennines, at the umpteenth bend under an incessant rain, I wondered why all these sacrifices. It wasn't just one trip that I made, but many, too many during this decade. I asked myself, make up a bit. For non-Campanis, this expression seems like a foreign language, but the term indicates the concept that I wanted to represent at that moment. But what does periare mean? I wondered. Here the spark lit up a part now dormant in some area of my brain. I had to do something. I had to try to change course. But where did this strange expression come from? Come on, I said to myself, you've always loved words since you were a child. And so, doing a little research, I learned that the origin of periare, which precisely indicated a state of mind oriented towards carefreeness and healthy entertainment without thinking too much, referred to the act of digestion, precisely that he underlined the liberation given by the well-being that is felt after having digested a hearty meal, a sensation of lightness very similar to that felt in having fun in company. Indeed, another derivation also seems very tantalizing. We all know that many Neapolitan terms derive from other languages, and in this case the word periare could derive from Spanish, where parir means companion, hence the transformation that indicates being in company and therefore having fun. Somewhere, in my brain, in some hidden area, lay the atavistic passion for the etymology of Italian and non-Italian words and idioms, the undersigned. In fact, since high school, every morning, learned a new word and threw it to the peers of contact, but not for boasting or anything, but for the sake of sharing something that I considered beautiful. The others must enjoy it too, I said to myself. Man behaves as if he were the modeler and master of language, while in fact language remains the master of man. M. Heidegger. Words are all we have, so they better be the right ones. R. Carver. But what does phenomenology mean? Why the choice of such a convoluted nickname? Why bother illustrious philosophers such as Lambert, Husserl, or the better-known Hegel? The term lends itself well, in truth, as my idea was to share beauty in all its forms. Therefore, even the language became a form to be used as a model of dissemination. What better means than the most famous social network to widen the audience for this sharing? Phenomenology, in a first simple meaning of a philosophical nature, could be defined as a simple description of the way in which a reality is presented and manifested precisely by how it appears to the observer, a phenomenon. But here comes the idea of borrowing this apparent exteriority into a more complex, I would say multifaceted, precisely in the forms and intelligibility, less obvious but more interesting. A phenomenological approach designed to disassemble any phenomenon into multiple parts for intimate and intelligible analysis. Not only, then it is necessary to recompose the analyzed phenomenon to make it more usable in a more complete and always entirely synthesizable way. Clearer? Probably not, but this is it. Let's talk about Facebook. The Phenomenology of the Italian language page was born in 2014, but only in the last 3 years has it grown considerably in terms of always very demanding followers. Having studied marketing and having a certain working maturity, I faced the social challenge with enthusiasm. I often said to myself, but what does it take to grow a Facebook page? Everyone does it. I can't be outdone. Come on. Believe me, it's not like that. The hardest moments with which, still today, I have to deal with concern the times to carve out for arguing, the so-called posting but sleeping little, fortunately or not. In 2/3 hours at night the product seems to be well served. Which topic of the moment to intercept to make the participation of my community more immediate? Will they be interesting topics, sui generis, updated to the attentive eye of my follower? Usual, trivial things. I don't want to present them. On the contrary, in this regard, numerous reviews, I quote those of Facebook, have gone precisely in the aforementioned direction. For example, instructive but not trivial and boring. What you read stays. Monia for Ms. Interesting, instructive and ironic. The right combination to be read even by those who do not have a passion for the language. Ilenia Campanella. If I wanted to open a page, it would be exactly like this. Federico Tansi. Finally, a page with interesting and intelligent content, juicy malice, but also some criticism that, after careful skimming, I really appreciated, such as facade title perhaps to attract clickbait, topics covered by now of no linguistic interest with an increase of those more clickbait precisely, sometimes even with linguistic errors. Mauro Gandini. By now it talks about everything, except the theme from which it takes its title. Lorenzo Cassine. Luckily, the negative reviews are very small compared to the positive ones, allowing my Facebook page to have 4.7 out of 5 stars. In any case, through the criticisms I understood that very often it doesn't pass what I intend. A front title to attract clickbait, even if it were not gain popularity or money through Facebook with many clicks indeed. Maybe it's the other way around on that platform. The more exposed you are, the more you annoy, to the point that for more than once I was forced to resort to the famous Nazi algorithm that abjures everything without a minimum of contradiction. As regards the negative aspect revealed previously regarding the arguments treated on a broad spectrum, it can be said that the undersigned has found benefit from it. I broadened the scope by including in the phenomenological aspects also everything that is worthy of being shared, analyzed from a speculative and debate point of view. In fact, the site takes the name of Phenomenology of the Italian language, precisely to underline the point of the importance of any argument suitable for constructive debate with ideas linked not only to the intimacy of the Italian language, which, in any case, has the primacy of an editorial plan increasingly oriented towards it. The sections of the site dedicated to it are in fact grammar, words, idioms. It was not easy at all, and indeed very tiring from the beginning. Looking for curiosities, anecdotes, stories of characters to tell, to be combined with the intimacy of Italian grammar and the authenticity of the colorful dialects that were not at all obvious. What to say then for the busyness of the daily posts? At least 3, I said to myself, but maybe 4. The desire to share beauty and culture in a broad sense is so great that I have never diminished my enthusiasm in searching for the most succulent gem to feed to my community. Then in the year 2020, in full lockdown, between a sometimes apparently fake surrealism, the idea was born of transforming this unicus into something more organic through the creation of a website. Yes, but where do I start? I selected 9 agencies before relying on the one that created the site. Sometimes I can be very critical, but I was too afraid of making a mistake, and I still have a lot of it now. How to organize the mass of articles posted on Facebook in a simple but immediate way. At first, after careful analysis, I thought of dividing the site into 10 categories, but then from a comparison with the agency it is evident that 8 were sufficient, which I list below. Let's start with the following category. Words. Etymology of words, where it all began, I dare say. Some examples treated by the Phenomenology site. Let's talk about 3 words. Thank you, a wonderful word. Etymology. From the Lat. Gratii, which takes up the French Curiosities. This is how the 3 daughters of Jupiter and Venus were called by the Greeks, dispensers of the gifts constituting perfect beauty. From the beautiful color, youth, and hilarity. These qualities are specified with the names of Aglaia, Aglaeos, splendid, of Thalia, from Thalian, to flourish, and of Euphrosyne, from Iphron, of sound mind. Thank you is the best prayer anyone can say. Thanks expresses extreme gratitude, humility, understanding. Cited by Alice Walker. We may use this word often in our lives, but have we stopped to really think about what a thank you means or how gratitude is really essential in our lives? A small thank you allows us to reach out to each other, to open our intimate spaces, and offers us the infinite possibility of doing and receiving good. No one is poorer than he who has no gratitude. Gratitude is a coin we can mint ourselves and spend without fear of bankruptcy. Cited by Fred DeWitt Van Amberg. Something we shouldn't underestimate at all. Yet, the meaning of gratitude is something much greater. According to Thomas Aquinas, it was a real, all, human, complex, and extremely varied reality, so much so that it could be articulated on 3 different levels. Slang, dialectal idioms, proverbs, Latinisms, etc. Some examples treated by the Phenomenology site. Let's talk about 3 slangs. An ambiguous expression. Good luck. With the expression good luck, we usually want to wish good luck to those who have to prepare for a difficult test, whether it's a university or high school exam, a job interview, a sports competition, and so on. Over the years, the expression has also acquired superstitious value, and to avert the eventuality of an insidious event, it is expressed in the figurative form of going into the wolf's mouth, which, metaphorically speaking, means getting into trouble. To achieve great things, we must not only act but also dream. Not only designing but also believing. My good luck for your exam. Anonymous. But where does the expression good luck come from? The origins of the expression good luck are very uncertain, and in fact there are still many interpretations today. Topics. A section that has become queen as the community often seeks comparison with philosophical/existentialist themes as well as ordinary everyday ones. Some examples treated by the Phenomenology site. Let's talk about 3 topic. The unfold of beauty in Severino and Heidegger. The beauty. Talking about beauty is always extremely complex, and it is evident how all those who have wanted to attempt a definition over the course of time have found themselves in the presence of something indefinite and indefinable. Beyond cynical nihilism, knowing that you have always been saved, in beauty. And we note how modern aesthetics itself has certainly contributed to spreading this belief, according to which its content is precisely something ephemeral, evanescent. Baumgarten, in fact, even before Kant, in his philosophical meditations on topics concerning poetry of 1753, reserves to aesthetics the field of knowledge which, depending on perception, the meaning derives etymologically from the Greek term aisthenomai, I perceive with the senses, I feel. Aesthesis, sensation, does not concern clear and distinct ideas, but vague and confused ones. Thus we have the impression that beauty, and more generally its aesthetic discipline, are interested in the unnecessary, the superfluous. Beauty is therefore able to save us, as we find in Dostoevsky's The Idiot, and not by chance is Emanuele Severino, who with his extreme acumen, manages to talk about it in appropriate ways in times, relating beauty and the feast archaic. Grammar. Grammar rules through the numerous doubts of the Italian language. Some examples treated by the Phenomenology site. Let's talk about 3 posts on grammar. Which punctions? Punctuation or punctuation indicates pauses in speech using graphic signs, comma, period, semicolon, colon, question mark, exclamation point, ellipsis, dashes, parentheses, quotation marks, whose placement responds to a practical need for logical clarity and, at the same time, has an expressive value, for example, when you want to highlight a part of the sentence, or when you want to create a sense of expectation. Punctuation regulates the articulation of thought. It visibly underlines the syntactic relationships, i.e., their correct relationship between the components of the discourse, organizing the latter in a hierarchy of logical units of greater or lesser importance. Translates the dynamics of spoken discourse into written language, as, for example, happens for writers who try to give greater verisimilitude to dialogues. Now let's see with our Professor Valeria how to best use this aforementioned punctuation. Which of the following punctions is incorrect? 1. If you are careful, you will manage to avoid blunders. 2. Claudia, my neighbor, has just had a baby. 3. Mom, can you pass me the salt? 4. Don't criticize what I believe. Do you want to know the solution? Biographies. Belén Rodríguez. Buenos Aires, September 20, 1984, Argentina. I have a man's brain. I don't have feminine insecurity. I always think according to my potential. Belén Rodríguez was born in Buenos Aires, one of the main cultural centers of the whole of Argentina, a place alive with vibrant cultures that spur her to take an interest in art. The full name of this much-loved showgirl in Italy is Maria Belén Rodríguez Casani, and as can be guessed, her soul is half Argentinian and half Italian. In fact, both her father Gustavo Rodríguez and her mother Veronica Casani, although both born in Argentina, have Italian origins. Father Gustavo, he is in fact half Italian, while his mother Veronica is the daughter of Italian immigrants from La Spezia. At the age of 17, she was discovered by a fashion talent scout, and she began to walk the catwalks not only in Argentina but all over the world, continuing however to cherish the dream of one day becoming a star of the entertainment world. She graduated at the age of 19 in 2003 from the Artistic High School, and she enrolled in the Faculty of Communication and Entertainment Sciences, but after only 1 year she decided to try her luck by reaching Italy. She left Buenos Aires and left for Italy at the age of 18 after a traumatic experience. Her family was robbed and held captive in their own home. I preferred the engagement of an Emilian fashion agency to the cover of Playboy Miami. The beginnings in the beautiful country are not the most favorable. In fact, despite having Italian origins, the beautiful girl finds it difficult to get her career off the ground in the entertainment world. Her residence permit does not allow her to appear on TV but only to work as a model, and when she can begin to launch herself into the world of hosting and television programs only offer her roles as a sexy sidekick. For example, the black cat in The Merchant at the Fair and roles in various sports programs. Despite the nuanced roles and the expired residence permit for Belen, notoriety comes by roundabout ways. She is noticed as the splendid girlfriend of the footballer Marco Borriello, and her modeling career continues booming. In 2005 she became the official Yamame testimonial, and in 2006 she came out his famous calendar. It is precisely the notoriety of her calendar that opens the doors for her to RAI, where she leads the comedy program La Tintoria as co-protagonist, then arriving to lead important evenings with Fabrizio Frizzi. Shortly after she enters the homes of all Italians with the TIM spot that runs together with Elisabetta Canales and Christian De Sica, and in a short time, in addition to becoming one of the most acclaimed and sought after showgirls on Italian television, she gets engaged to Maurizio Corona. Belen is among the showgirls who has most bewitched the hearts of Italians. Her little butterfly is memorable. The butterfly-shaped tattoo on her groin that she shows during the descent from the Sanremo 2012 staircase. A gesture that shocked and amused at the same time most Italians. The decisive meeting, from which her first child, Santiago, was also born, is with Stefano De Martino, dancer of the Amici di Maria de Filippi show. The first time I saw it, I never felt my legs again. And to think I didn't believe in love at first sight, said the showgirl. Funny moment. The play area where, in an amusing way, the community tries to guess the last riddle or smile at the nice joke. A challenge on paradoxes or mathematical logic quizzes. Some examples covered by the Phenomenology site. Maths puzzles. Complete Wheel 4. The discipline of mathematics is one of the most difficult of all. Origin. From the Lat. Mathematica, ars, and this from gr. Mathematic, techni, art of teaching sec. 13. A difficult discipline not for everyone, a subject that has evolved over the years, increasingly becoming, according to many, increasingly difficult. How to make it more pleasant and less restrictive. Having fun. This is how mathematical riddles were born, a real resource for approaching the subject. One of the infinitely seductive aspects of mathematics is that its thorniest paradoxes find a way to flower into splendid theories. Philip J. Davis. Come on, let's start training. Which number completes the wheel? A. 290. B. 210. C. 34. D. 222. Solution on phenomenologia.net/memento-ludus/completa. La. Ruota. N. 4/. Curiosity. The section where the most appetizing and current curiosities are satisfied. Not only also historical curiosities that are lost in the mists of time. Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Diwali, also called Deepavali or Deepawali. It is one of the most important Indian parties and is celebrated in October or November. It symbolizes the victory of good over evil and is called the Feast of Lights. During the festival it is customary to light lights, candles or traditional lamps called diya. In many areas of India the festivities include fireworks displays. The most popular legend associated with the festival is that which deals with the return of King Rama from the city of Ayodhya after 14 years of exile in a forest. When the king returned, the people of the city lit strings, avali, of lamps, Deepa, in his honor. Hence the name Deepawali, or more simply Diwali. Diwali celebrations last for 5 days in the Hindu month of Ashwayuja, which usually falls between October and November. For Hindus and Jains it is the celebration of life and an opportunity to strengthen ties with family and friends. For Jains, it also represents the beginning of the year. Sikhism. Diwali is also celebrated by the Sikh population who celebrate the Bandi Chor Diwas, literally the Liberation Day. This day, in fact, falls on the same day as Diwali. In October 1619, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was released from Gwalior prison in India, along with 52 other princes. Bandi Chor Divas is celebrated in a similar way to Diwali, with the lighting of houses and gurdwaras, and involves celebrations, gift giving and family time. It is an important Sikh celebration along with Vaisakhi, Maghi, Holi with Hola Mahalla and Gurpurab. Celebrations at the Sikh Golden Temple in Amritsar. Guru Hargobind's father, Guru Arjan, was arrested on the orders of the Mughal Emperor Jahangir and asked to convert to Islam. He refused and was tortured and executed in 1606 CE. Rated R. The hottest category managed by myself in a never vulgar way could not be missing, indeed with the aim of telling the ever-changing terminologies of the erotic world and beyond. Samata. A curious term. There are as many clubs offering samata as those of lap, dance and striptease brought by globalization. Japan is a fantastic place for those who love sex and perversions, anonymous sit. There are terms from other cultures that are becoming popular here too, and it is so curious to find out what they mean and what their history is. Let's take for example, samata. This term indicates something hot. Let's see, together, what this Japanese term means. Samata can be literally translated as bare groin, and is a very particular Japanese term as it indicates a sexual act without penetration typical of Oriental brothels. This has made it famous in every corner of the world, and it is not uncommon to find some Oriental massage center that applies it to the letter. He became really famous also in Italy and in the rest of the world thanks to the numerous shootings of hard films in circulation. This type of sexual act involves the stimulation of the man's penis without penetration by women with massages by hands, thighs and rubbing with the labia majora. This activity was originally born to circumvent the anti-prostitution law of 1956, which, in exemplifying the nature of paid sex now outlawed, indicated vaginal intercourse. The rise in popularity of these establishments in Japan is similar to that of Western-style brothels and strip clubs that offer lap dancing services without full sexual intercourse. By the way, the graphics are created by me and I'm proud of them. For the posts I have 3/4 collaborators specialized in different fields, a math teacher, an Italian teacher and 2 specialized copywriters. Even the logo and its payoff, not only words, give a good idea of the Phenomenology project. Not just words, but a world that branches out from it and takes forms that are always different from the origin. This choice was very complex, and thanks to numerous surveys with the community we managed to figure it out, and, I would say, in a very effective way. The logo subtly represents the human brain with its different areas called lobes, where the magic of the encounter clash takes place between the regions of rational and emotional language. All of it suddenly crackling, almost as if to underline that a concrete something is born from the chaos. Here's the chaos here could also be considered a post that sparks debate in the community. Do we speculate? I often use this verb precisely to fuel the debate, even in a provocative way. What about the management of some really hateful comments? In jargon, haters are a bad social reality. Of course, I can't always depress issues like a good moderator, and for this I apologize. Don't mind me.